Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. Just thought I'd return to you for this Wednesday versus video. I know I haven't done a Wednesday versus video in like 2 weeks, and the reason why is because I completely forgot about last week's reason why video and all that for the 14th, of course. And this was supposed to be for Sleeping with Sirens versus Pierce the Veil that I'm going to be talking about with this Wednesday versus video tonight, and I'll let you know what I think of these bands overall and who I deem to be the winner if I choose Sleeping with Sirens as a winner or Pierce the Veil or I choose both. But other than that, let's dive into this reason why Season 4 Episode 16 video. So I got another one coming out after this video drops. So yeah, another Wednesday versus video will be out after the Sleeping with Sirens and Pierce the Veil one. I gotta get that one ready. So pretty much from what I've listened to with both these bands, I'm gonna start with Sleeping with Sirens. They have a good discography for sure. I mean, the only thing that I would say that I like about Sleeping with Sirens is because Kellen Quinn's vocals very unique, and it does sound like a girl in a way with how he sings some of the time. It's very high pitched vocals from him, but I think it works for some of the songs. At first, when I got into them in 2019 for their How It Feels to Be Lost record, which was one of their strongest albums, and so was their last one, Complete Collapse. And they dropped deluxe editions for those the year after, and so I think we're going to be getting another Sleeping with Sirens record sometime late 2025 or early 2026. Depends on when they get around to it. But from what I've listened to, I think Gossip was solid, but it was one of their weakest, honestly. Then you get How It Feels to Be Lost, one of my favorite records. I think that record's grown on me. I probably will be doing some re-reviews for those Sleeping with Sirens albums. Some of them I did not listen to. I listened to a little bit of Feel, but I didn't listen to a lot of it. Only heard a few songs from it. But other than that, Complete Collapse was my personal favorite from Sleeping with Sirens. And yeah, I think the band is a pretty strong band, and they have 3 or more discography albums that I can get on board with, and I do dig it. So now to Pierce the Veil, I've only heard the Jaws of Life record. I know I gotta listen to Misadventures and some other albums that they've made. So from what I've listened to with Pierce the Veil, I do enjoy their material. The one thing that kind of ticked me off a little is because they dropped, sorry about the messages, it's notifications I'm getting from Instagram from a user that I'm talking to. So, one of my friends on Instagram. But to get back on track with what I was trying to say, I think Pierce the Veil have a solid discography from what I've listened to. King for a Day was one of their most popular tracks with Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens. I think Vic Fuentes has really good vocals, very high pitched. I know from their beginning discography is when they did really good. I mean, with the Jaws of Life record, I think it's very underrated. But it gets some hate, that record does. Because I know it's going into a more experimental hard rock rock kind of album that not a lot of people are really on board with the new sound of Pierce the Veil. I mean, the one song I liked from that new record by Pierce the Veil, it was the first track on The Jaws of Life. And there were some other ones. Pastor Nirvana was my favorite. And yeah, I forgot what the first song's name was, but I'd have to go back and look into it again. But Emergency Contact was a good one. The title track's pretty strong in its own way. They have some good songs on that record, but it's very experimental in its own way. So from what I listened to with Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens, if I were to choose a winner, I'd have to be fair and choose both as the winner for this Wednesday Versus video. Because honestly, both bands are talented and really strong in their own way, and they put out a lot of great material. I mean, technically, if you look at it in a technical way, Sleeping with Sirens would be the winner, but I don't count albums. I only count their potential as bands in general, as a whole. So from what I wanted to mention was just that in general, they're both great bands. And at the end of the day, they both have amazing talent. I definitely enjoy both Kellen Quinn and Vic Fuentes' vocals in Sleeping with Sirens from Kellen Quinn, and Vic Fuentes from Pierce the Veil have very outstanding vocals for sure, and that's a highlight. I mean, the one thing I heard from my sister or whatever was that she said that when she went to a Warped Tour show, she could barely hear Kellen Quinn singing, and it was because the instrumentation. I heard that a little bit in a live show video, like a live concert video or whatever, and I heard a little bit of that, and it was a little hard to hear him singing, but I could hear it a little. It was just a little faint. But overall, I think if I were to choose a winner, like I said, both bands are gonna be the winner in this Wednesday Versus video, season 4, episode 16. Hopefully you enjoyed this Wednesday Versus video tonight, and thank you guys for watching.